Aloha, everybody. This is Cathy Bilsky, The Quantum Leap, Let Light Unite. And this is February 23rd, 2025. And before I begin, I need to change my Facebook page as usual. Ooh, let's see. Privacy. Done. Cool. All right, good to go. Well, if you follow me, you know that I do some really pretty serious work. And I thought today I would take a break on that and do something a little bit fun and talk about unexpected, unexplained events that may happen in your life. Some people call them miracles. Now, I'm going to share with you just a couple of mine, and I hope you share some with me. Now, what would you call a miracle? A really unexplained event? I don't know. Well, how about having a car crash at 75 and you walk away from it? Would you consider that a miracle? I would. And our life is full of these unexpected events. I like to think that's a lot of spirit and angels that are in our lives that are actually looking out for us. And I'm going to explain, some unexpected events that happened to me. One of them was, God, a long, long time ago. I'll call lifetimes ago. And I was driving in my car. I was going through some pretty bad situation at the time, and I wasn't paying attention to my driving. And the next thing I know, the car ahead of me stopped. Something, and it wasn't me, grabbed my steering wheel, literally took the wheel and yanked me over to the right. And I ended up going on someone else a lawn, and then yanked me back behind the car. I mean, I was blown away at the time. Of course, it wasn't me that yanked the the stereo, the steering wheel there or back. I like to think my guardian angel stepped in on that one and really, really saved my rear. Now, another time, and this is actually my very first shark experience. I was in Belize, which is a country in Central America right next to Guatemala. And it's, like off the water. So you've got islands and, it's an interesting place. But Belize is also has a reputation of being settled by pirates and slaves. But that's not here nor there. So I met this young man, and I was pretty young myself at the time, who said he was going to cook me this really great conch dinner. And conch is a big shell out there. And that we were going to go out and collect everything we need so he could make this wonderful stew for me. And it's like I'm in. So we got also our snorkel gear, and he got his boat. We went out to the ocean because conch, shells, ocean. Okay. So now we're snorkeling, and we were quite a ways away from the boat and about 9 feet of water, not really deep, but there was an underwater cave there. And in that cave was a 6-foot shark that was sleeping. Okay. Sleeping, very quiet, not moving, happy shark. So the next thing I know, this young man holds up his finger to get my attention, which he did. He grabs the shark's tail and he literally does this back and forth, waves it back and forth, wakes the shark up. And now the shark goes flying out of the cave into the ocean. And I am mentally screaming because I'm snorkeling, what the hell are you doing? And I use stronger words, of course. And, he looked at me and he goes, what's the problem? There is no problem. I go, the shark's going to come back. He's angry. You made him angry. He goes, oh, no, he won't. And I looked over to where my boat was, and it was still a long ways away, too long for me to go and get away and out of the water. So my guy just kind of snorkeled away from me, and I decided I'm going to hunker down and in the water in the direction that the shark went. And, it was maybe a minute later, I saw the shark come back. Oh my God, honest to God, he had this biggest shark grin you have ever seen in your life. And you can hear him say, "Oh, honey, you are mine today, and you are going to be so yummy." And I'm thinking, oh my God, I am cooked, right? Well, the next thing I knew, as the shark is barreling at me, he hits this invisible wall and goes off at this 90-degree angle. I mean, I'm blown away. I can't believe my good luck. And the next thing I know is I'm getting my ass out of the water into the boat, which I did. And I didn't get back in the water. Miracle? Did I really believe the angels got involved in that one? Oh my God. Absolutely. Whew. Now that's my most profound shark story, and I've had a couple since then. I'll tell you another one real quick. It was my birthday, and I was going canoeing by myself, kayaking in one of the bays, and the military love to come in with their big military ships, and when they do, they stir up the water, so it's like horrible. You really can't see into the water. Well, I was being stubborn because this is my birthday, and I saw the military there, and they had they I guess they're amphibian. Their ships are amphibians. So they were loading all their big trucks into these big amphibian ships because they were going to take them to the big ships. And I looked and I went, it's going to take them a while. And it's my birthday and I am going kayaking. So I went way over to the far wall. And now I'm kayaking up the wall. I wasn't really far. I like to stay near the shore, especially when I'm kayaking by myself, because you never know what's going to happen. Anyway, so I'm kayaking and I wasn't kayaking very long. And I looked down at the water and I'm thinking, oh my God, that water is so dirty. I mean, it was like mud. And the next thing I knew, this huge shadow goes underneath my kayak. And he must have been, oh my God, the head at least 4 or 5 feet wide. It was huge. And then the next thing I saw was the tail with a white tip. And it was a white tip shark. Now, I'm freaking out because the shark came from behind my kayak. And thank God when I go on the ocean, I do a lot of prayer work because I realized that shark was stalking me. Now, as I'm realizing it's a shark going underneath me, all I could think of is, well, I would normally put my camera in the water and take a picture of you, but this time I'm just going to turn my kayak around and go the other way. And I really couldn't get back in the water for a good 2, 3 months because, I went into shock, but not till after I got out of the water. You realize that you were being stalked by a shark. And these sharks around Hawaii, they're pretty smart. They realize that um, people will fish off their kayaks. So they associate kayak, fish, fishing, food. So I went online later and I asked what kind of white tip sharks are in the ocean. Now you got the reef white tip shark. Now that one's kind of skinny and it doesn't hurt you at all. Now the other one, well, I mean, it could hurt you, but it normally doesn't. Now the other one is a white tip ocean shark. Those are scary. Those attack. So that's the kind of shark that was following me. And that's why I went into post-traumatic stress a little bit. Couldn't get in the water for 2 months. Miracle? Yeah. Being watched out after? Yes. And I'm gonna give you really quick another miracle, and it's also working on with energy in a very practical way. And a very dear friend told me this story. And, when you're driving by an ambulance, it's really awesome that you just send energy to that ambulance, to whoever's been hurt, for whatever they need. And then just keep driving. Don't, you can't pay attention to the outcome. All right. Know that you are sending that energy to that person for whatever that person needs, whether it's to release the body from the accident or to stay in body and heal. So this actually did happen. This woman one day went by an accident and sent this ambulance a lot of energy and then went on her way. And about 6 months later, she got this letter in the mail, and it was from the woman who was in the accident, thanking her for sending her the energy. And what happened is the woman literally was out of body that had the accident. And while she was out of body, she looked down and she saw the license plate, and she remembered it from the woman that sent her the energy. So when she came back, she was able to, go to the DMV and find out who she was and thank her. So, to me, that's a miracle and an unexplained happening. You know, we live on a planet that's magical. Life is magical if you allow it. And, guys, work with energy in a very practical way. And I just gave you an example. And if you see yourself all of a sudden going by all these accidents, and then you think of what I said, oh, Cathy said, just send energy. And you do. And again, you find yourself going past more accidents. That's because spirit is putting you to work, and you are now doing divine service. I mean, really, how cool. Isn't that lovely? A lovely way to do service. So keep it up, keep up the good work, have fun with it and recognize the miracles in your life and share them, be joyful. And on that note, have a great day. And we don't even have to ground from this one. How cool is that? All right. Aloha, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.